Those who need this document can have it in two ways. One, in paper form, found in the district's headquarters in the Family Welcome Center. It's also available online on the district's homepage. It also includes local resources for families that need to utilize this. The Cole County Emergency Medical Services has been receiving more calls recently, prompting some changes to the department. We're live here at the site of the scene where Officer Gary Michael was shot. Now, law enforcement presence was heavy throughout the day, but has since quieted down. As you can see behind me, people have been stopping by this memorial to honor Officer Michael. I'm live here in Jefferson City, where police will be out in full force as they participate in the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign. Work hours and a long work week were some of the issues that led to the Central Pantry changing its hours. I spoke with members of the food bank and people who use the pantry on the new changes.
Jefferson City leaders are taking a close look at the city's aging fleet of buses. KOMU8's Alexis Reese is here in the studio to tell us why the capital city might go electric.
Cracks, rust, and old age in Jefferson City buses are causing city officials to take a new look for new replacements and solutions. The Jefferson City Transit Division is looking to improve public transportation. They're looking at possibly replacing their current buses with electric buses. Transit Division Director Mark Maymart says they've been looking at electric buses for quite a while.
We've been to trade shows and we've seen some of the technology, and our neighbor to the north in Columbia has invested in some of that technology, and we're anxious to see how that works out for them, and we're happy to be able to learn from their experience.
Maymart says one of the reasons why they're considering electric buses is because buses like the ones they have right here are getting old, and there are external problems on the buses like cracking and rust, prompting them to find new solutions.
A number of our buses getting up in years, 2005 and 2006 models, around 300,000 plus miles. So it's beginning to get to the point where we have to start looking at their replacements.
Columbia has been using electric buses for over a year, and although there are benefits to it, one public works spokesman says they also have their downsides.
On a cold or a very hot day, we'll see about a 1% per hour reduction in the charge of the battery. So on those days, we have to drive them a little differently, maybe put them on shorter shifts.
Maymart says the division will be testing an electric bus before making any proposals. Maymart also told me they hope to have a demo bus at their next meeting in October. In the studio, Alexis Reese, KOMU8 News.
Earlier this month, Missouri Attorney General Josh Hawley announced he'll be running for U.S. Senate, and the Missouri Democrats immediately pounded on him with Target 8 Fact Check. KOMU8's Alexis Reese is in the studio to check the party's claim.
The Missouri Democrats released a statement just one day after Hawley's announcement saying, quote, he raised money behind closed doors with millionaires, D.C. special interests, and Republican leaders in Washington. The Target 8 investigative team took interest in this claim and decided to see if there's truth to this statement. So I checked his newly available campaign finance data.
You would have thought that this last election would have gotten some folks' attention in D.C.
In his announcement video, Hawley highlighted the D.C. career crowd and stated McCaskill turned her back on farmers and doesn't represent us. Missouri Democrats fired back with a statement saying it's clear who Josh Hawley is running to represent in the United States Senate, and it's not Missouri. I looked through many quarterly reports submitted by Hawley's team to the Missouri Ethics Commission and the Federal Election Commission to see if there was any truth to the statement. When looking at the quarterly report submitted to the FEC, Hawley raised more than $800,000, gaining donations from big names like David Humphreys. More than 3/4 of that money came from inside Missouri. When calculating all the quarterly reports Hawley's campaign submitted to the Missouri Ethics Commission for the 2017 year so far, he gained more than $630,000 in in-state contributions and more than $530,000 in out-of-state contributions. University of Missouri political science professor Marvin Overby says having almost as much out-of-state contributions as in-state isn't always bad.
It's not clear to me that there's anything bad about money coming in from out of state, although it is often phrased that way, right? There's sort of the insinuation that there's something untoward about it or something sort of not quite above board about it.
Hawley also received contributions from big names like the Microsoft Corporation PAC, Home Depot Store Support LLC, and Tamco Building Products, just 1 month after winning the Attorney General spot. In the recently released October quarterly report, Hawley received money from Cheyenne International LLC, a tobacco company based in North Carolina. Overby says companies and PACs usually give money to candidates who have the same values, but says sometimes the public could misconstrue these contributions.
I think the general public has this sense that politics